everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making breakfast burritos. It takes a little bit of work, but it makes a lot, and they're easy to put together, and then you just either warm them up in the oven after you make them, just so everything gets warm, or you can put them in your freezer, and when you want them, take them out and pop them in the oven and just heat them till they're heated through. Everything is pre-cooked. So in a bowl, I have some Ore-Ida hash browns. You can use any kind of potato you want. Mine have onions and peppers in them, just because it gives this a little bit more of a depth of flavor. You don't need it. So in a bowl, I'm going to put some olive oil on my potatoes. I have 2 packs of the potatoes here because when I make these, I just make a lot because they get eaten. Alright, so I'm going to put some pepper in.
Maybe.
I'm injured today. I can't do it. Cut myself yesterday. Okay, now I'm going to put some salt on, but just a little, because you're going to be using salty cheese, salty sausage, salty bacon, so we don't want to make it so it's so salty you can't eat it. So I'm just going to stir this around. And then I'm going to put them on a foil-lined pan. Now my foil is non-stick. I'm going to separate this into 2 because I want them to lay pretty flat, so I want them browned really well. They're going to go into, actually I can probably just do 1. I thought I needed 2, but I don't. So I'm just going to put this on here, and then you're going to put this in a 400 to 425 degree oven. And every couple of minutes, probably every 10-15 minutes, stir them, move them around. And it takes a long time, so don't get discouraged. But we want these really brown so that they have a good crispness to them. So I'm going to put them in the oven. When I'm done, I'll let you know how long it took to cook them. Alright, once our potatoes are in the oven, let's move on to getting everything cooked. So in this pan I have a whole pound of bacon. Now use any kind of meat you want, okay? You don't even need to put meat in here, just you can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you kind of a guideline on how to prepare it, put it together, all that. Then I have a half of a very large sweet onion. You don't have to do that, there's onions in the potatoes. I like extra onion. And I have 2 packages of Bob Evans pork sausage, and it is the original, I think it is.
I believe it's a breakfast sausage.
Breakfast sausage, it's Italian. Use whatever kind of sausage you want, use hot, mild, whatever, okay? So I'm going to start cooking my bacon. I have a dozen eggs here. I might add a few extra. Definitely if you're going to want to make this for a big crowd, you at least need 12 eggs, probably more. So I'm going to get started on my bacon and then we'll come back. Alright, when your bacon gets done, I like my medium crisp because you are going to put this in the oven to heat up. It'll crispen it just a little bit more. So I poured out all of my bacon grease except about a tablespoon. And now I'm going to add my onions if you're doing onions. I'm just going to soften these. As soon as they get softened, I'm going to take them. Alright, once your onions are done, I just made them soft. I'm going to put them on my tray to drain because I don't want all of this grease that I'm cooking in our burritos. You really want to drain your stuff, okay guys? So now I'm going to do my sausage, and like I said, use as much or as little of whatever you want. It's all up to your taste buds. These are great to take on camping trips because you could just, what I do is I wrap them up in foil, and then all you have to do is throw them on any hot surface. So while you're camping, throw them on your campfire, whatever. They're perfect.
Throw them on a grill, a rack by the fire, on a hot rock next to the fire, and
Anywhere
just keep turning it around. Our one buddy, he just throws them right in the coals.
Yeah, anywhere it's hot. You just want to melt that cheese that's in there and just get everything warm. But it's really a quick meal for camping, and if you freeze these, put them in your freezer or in your cooler, and then put the rest of your food in there and because these are froze, with the ice that you put in your cooler, it will stay cold. So anytime, here's another little
Make sure
trick.
it's in a Ziploc.
Yeah, make sure it's in a Ziploc because it will get water. The water will melt. But also, here's a little tip for you guys, for campers, or going to the beach, or whatever. Freeze your water bottles or your Gatorade bottles. Put them in your cooler. You don't need ice. Just fill your cooler with your frozen bottles of drinks. And during the day, with the heat, it'll start melting those inside that cooler, but they'll always be cold, and they will keep all of your food cold on top of that stuff. So freeze your drinks. Don't freeze pop or anything that has a little fizz to it, but water and Gatorade is perfect. And with this heat that we're having now, you know, the kids need to be able to drink a lot of fluids. So
make sure ice go a lot further.
it does make the ice go a lot further, and it keeps your stuff really, your drinks cold the whole trip. Just keep putting ice on top of those frozen bottles, and you'll have drinks your whole trip. Alright, so I'm going to let this cook until it's cooked through, and then we'll move on to our next. Alright, once our sausage is done, we're going to pour it on our pan to drain. Get all that grease out of there, get it draining. Okay, I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe that out. Be careful you don't burn yourself. Okay, now I'm going to put some butter in my pan. Now this is all up to you guys, but I'm going to cook my mushrooms until they're like a golden brown, so they have kind of a crisp on the outside of them. And I would normally make these really small, but I'm using the mushrooms for another recipe. So once they're cooked, I'm going to slice up what I need for this recipe. So I'm just going to put my mushrooms in here.
She sliced them, then she'll dice them. Like her finger.
Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let these cook down. I'm going to put a lid on it, kind of get them cooked down a little bit. Then I'll show you how to brown them. Alright, once your mushrooms cook down, there's still a lot of water in them, okay? Don't worry. You're going to add some garlic powder. Now add a lot.
If you like a lot.
Yeah. If you like a lot, add some. And then keep your lid off. And now we're just going to stir this in, and you'll see that the garlic powder soaks up a lot of that water. Now leave your lid off and let's start browning them. Just keep an eye on them and continually to stir them around, and we're just going to make like a brown crust on them. Alright, now that these are nice and browned, I'm going to put them to drain because I did use some butter in them. I'm actually going to put them in their own separate bowl. Like I said, I need to use these for something else that I'm making tomorrow. So I didn't want to mix it with the burrito stuff, okay? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to wipe this pan out again. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. Wipe this pan out. And then I'm going to put some butter in this pan. And now we're going to move on to our eggs. Now, the way to get nice and fluffy scrambled eggs is to break your eggs, put some salt and pepper, mix them together, and take very, very cold water. Just a little bit. If you're using 2 eggs, probably a half of a teaspoon. If you're doing like I'm doing, I've done 1.5 dozen eggs. And I probably put in maybe 3 tablespoons of very cold water. I get it from my refrigerator. What the cold does is it makes the eggs really fluffy. I don't use milk. Milk does not make them fluffy. Just really cold water. Then you're going to make sure your eggs are all mixed together really well. We're going to pour them in our pan, and we're going to just get them till they're just dry. Alright, now my eggs are done. I like mine a little bit browned and dry. I'm just going to pour them into a really big bowl. because I'm going to mix all my stuff in a big bowl. Excuse my kitchen behind me. I'm doing tons of recipes today, so I have everything out and going.
It's like the refrigerator exploded.
Yeah. It's Saturday today, so today is my cooking day. And
one of her
one of my cooking days, but I like to get a lot done in one day. So now that everything is drained, we're just going to put it in here. My potatoes are still cooking. They take a long time. So I'm just waiting on my cookies. My potatoes. Cookies, where did that come from?
Subliminally, you want to make me cookies.
I think so. Okay, I'm just going to pour this in.
Pour it, dump it, get it in the bowl.
Okay, get the rest of this bacon in.
Don't waste my bacon or sausage.
Okay, just wash my hands real quick. And now I'm just going to put in a few of my mushrooms. You don't have to use mushrooms if you don't like it.
Shut up. They have to put them in mine.
And I'm just going to keep about half of these. I'm going to be making a seafood quiche. And I'm going to put some mushrooms in one of the seafood quiches. So I'm just going to stir this together. And now I'm just waiting on my potatoes to get done. And then we'll assemble.
Come in and take a look, see what it all looks like right now.
Alright, now I have everything mixed in here. I have an ice cream scoop. And these are the small ones. I have to use these up first. I have big ones that I'm going to finish up with. But I used 2 scoops. This is about a 2-inch scoop. And I did 2 scoopfuls. And then you just put whatever kind of cheese you want on top. Lots of cheese. They all love cheese. And then you're going to roll it. Like this. Get your bottoms. Roll them up. And then roll them again. And what I'm doing is I am using these, I got these at GFS, they're single foils, and I just wrap them in this. And then you put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in your freezer. Alright, so this one just came out of the oven. I put it in the foil that I wrapped it in. Put it in and just until it's heated through, 15-20 minutes, whatever. And I'm going to try and cut this open right now, but I don't think I could be trusted with this knife because I've cut my finger here and I just cut this finger. Alright, so I'm going to cut this open just so you can see what it looks like.
We're going to change your name to Stubbs.
I'm going to put this open, and here you go. Come in here, Jackie, and take a look. Now I put a lot of cheese, put as much cheese or any kind of cheese you want. I used the Taco and the Fiesta blend. And these are great for the kids going out to school. While they're getting ready, stick them in the oven. If you don't want to stick them in the oven, take them out of the foil, heat them up in the microwave, and send them on their way. They will love them. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.